What is going on, Tim? It's Nick O'Neill here with Leo Digital SEO, and I do have a video here for you. That's going to give you 3 points. I know you said you have your website currently being built and it's on the road to being put up. So these 3 points are going to be content, backlinks, and citations. And then I'll show you the opportunity of taking these steps for your business and why you're going to want to go ahead and start doing these things when you get your website up. So I know that you don't have it up yet. So we're going to use your top competition over there in Boise, Idaho, right? And that's going to be Epoxy Floors, Idaho. So first things first is content, right? And generally, Google likes to see between 1,500 to 2,000 words, and that's depending on the competition and the number of keywords needed. So if you're asking what a keyword is, Tim, a keyword is anything someone might type into Google when they're looking for a particular service or product. So in your content, you can place these keywords throughout to tell Google exactly what terms you want your website found for. Right, for an example of a keyword could be epoxy flooring, Boise, Idaho, or stained concrete, Boise, Idaho, polished concrete, Boise, Idaho. The list goes on and on and on, right? Garage coatings, Boise, Idaho, but that would be a keyword. So let's go ahead and put the top competition's website in a word counter and let's just see where they stack up. So they're only at 410 words. So you can definitely outdo that. You don't want to match them. You want to get to at least 1,500 words. One, that's when Google will consider your homepage an authority website. And two, so you can get those keywords in there like we were talking about. So if we look over here, this is a tool I have called Ahrefs. There's free tools out there that you can get for some of this information, but this is what I use and pay for monthly. But just to give you a little more information on these keywords, right? So we got your top competition here. Let's see what Google has picked them up for their keywords, right? So these keywords that I'm talking about, epoxy floors, Idaho. If they're trying to cover all of Idaho, that would be a good one, right? So 30 people searching for that monthly, as you can see right here. The KD is on a scale of 0 to 100, and this is going to be basically the higher the number, the harder it is to rank for this keyword right here. The lower the number, the better. And so this keyword, like when I say rank for it, right, that's going to be in this organic section right here, like epoxy flooring, Boise, Idaho. They're ranking right there for it. So the low numbers are better. And then this is the amount of traffic that they're getting into their website a month. And this is the position on Google's page that they're ranked for. So here's just a couple of them, right? Here's just a couple of those keywords. And again, that's why you're going to want to get it up to 1,500 because generally Google doesn't like to see too many keywords and not enough content. So let's go on to that second point that I got for you, Tim, and that's going to be a backlink. Now, a backlink is anywhere you find one website linking to another, or in this case, it's going to be one website linking back to your website once you get that up, right? So these links, they act like an endorsement of your website from others, which Google basically uses this to build trust in your business and your website by seeing others vouching for you. The best example that I can give of this is it's literally like a popularity contest in Google's eyes to see the person, or in this case, the website with the most other websites pointing back at them is going to win that quote unquote popularity contest, right? So if we go back over here to my tool Ahrefs, we got Epoxy Floors Idaho in here. We can see that they only have 11 backlinks and only 5 other websites pointing back to them, right? So they don't have that many, but they are on top of the rankings right now because apparently competition is not that difficult over there in Boise, Idaho. So, but they are winning that, quote unquote popularity contest. And so the idea is if it works for them, then why wouldn't it work for you? And we can go in and see exactly what websites they have linking back to them. And so then these are the websites, right? You go in, create an account, get a link going back to your website, and then that would be one backlink going to your website, right? I do want to point out that not all links are created equal, so it is worth noting to stay relevant to your industry, and local websites will work best. To further that point that I'm talking about, this number right here, this domain rating, is on a scale of 0 to 100 as well. So the higher this number is, the best example I can give is the higher this number is, the more power that Google is giving this website right here, right? So the higher the number, the more power that is seen by this website in Google's eyes. Oops. And you want to stay on those high end numbers like this DR of 0. not going to mean anything, right? You want to stay on those higher end ones. Once it starts getting below 20, then they're pretty much, not too swell. So that is for that. And on to the last point that I'm going to have for you, Tim. That's going to be citations. Let's look over here at this map pack section. I don't think I'm not sure if y'all have a Google business profile set up, but if you don't, you're going to want to go ahead and get one set up right here. So again, citations. A citation now is anywhere your business name, address, and phone number is, exactly as it is on this Google business profile right here. And so these citations, they help you rank in this map pack here, which is extremely important for local businesses since they can generate huge amounts of revenue. For example, Tim, if someone put in epoxy flooring Boise, Idaho, you want to be this top 3 section right here, right? Nobody's going to go to page 2, 3, or 4 looking for services from them. They generally like to see, they associate the top 3 with the most popular businesses that people go with. So you want to be in this top section right here. So these citations that I'm talking about are included in directories like Yelp, Angie's, Expertise, BBB, and there's hundreds of others I'm sure you may have heard of. Social media accounts are great as well. For an example, when you get this set up right, you want to have your Facebook business page. Let's say you have your Facebook business page. On that Facebook business page, you would want to put your business name, address, and phone number exactly as it's shown right here on that Facebook business page. And then Google would read that and they would count that as one citation. So then we would also go with, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and the list goes on and on and on, right? And so the idea is that when your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet, the larger your online presence is, the more Google trusts you and your website. And once Google starts to see you more often, these cats right here, because they do have bots that constantly crawl the web to see whose presence is felt most compared to the competitors. But once they start to see more often these cats right here, then they're going to start ranking you higher up in that area, right? I'm going to give you a little more in-depth dive on this, right? So don't be afraid of just because Webfoot Concrete Coatings and Cabinets has 356 reviews. Now, those reviews are powerful, but what about those 21 reviews or those 46 reviews? Not so much. So get those citations way, way up and then get those reviews up as soon as you get this Google Business Profile page up, right? And you should be set. It takes a little bit of time, but it does get you up there. And then business does start to come in because they see you right here. So Tim, just to recap real quick, once you start to get that content up, once you get your website up first and foremost, once you're getting that content up, 15 to 2,000 words, and you're getting those keywords in there, those keywords examples that I was showing you, once you start to get those backlinks going to your website, right, you've got other websites pointing back to you, and you're starting to win that quote unquote popularity contest. And last but not least, once you get this Google business profile set up and you're getting those citations and those reviews in, like we talked about, well, let's look at why it might be so worthwhile doing, right? So even with Epoxy Floors Idaho doing a poor job on those 3 points that we talked about, they're getting roughly 70 people to their website a month. Now, that's just off of those 3 points again that we were talking about, and they're not doing, as you can see, the best of jobs at it, but it's getting them where they need to be. So let's say now that you have your website up and you're killing it on those 3 points that we talked about, and you've got 70 people coming to your website a month. Let's say only out of those 70 people that visit your website, let's say 10 of them actually pick up the phone and say, hey, I need to get my garage epoxied, right? And then let's say you only close after that, only 5 of them. Well, I'm not too sure where you're at right now with your business or your profit margins, but I would imagine that 5 to 10 more jobs would increase the pockets and the business revenue. Now, again, there's many, many keywords that you can use, and this number, I guarantee you, is in the hundreds area because we do not have Google's exact numbers. It's just the algorithm that a tool that I use. So, and again, they're doing a poor job of it. So the numbers should be higher. They should be capturing more than this, right? So yeah, Tim, man, I do hope that this video helps. This is what I do for a living. I hope that this video, I'm creating this video in hopes that it'll start helping you generating more leads and more jobs and more customers, right? If you do find yourself wanting more to continue scaling the business, then feel free to reach out and I can help you with some more information, or we can talk about the goals and I can do the research to find out exactly what could be realistic for the business or what it might take to reach those goals, right? I would just ask that, you took the time to watch this, that you give me one line of feedback, whether something wasn't clear, whether something was great, or, if you have a question, for sure, shoot me a text or shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger. If you did want to text me, my cell phone is 832-728-9003. Again, feel free to reach out as my door is always open, brother. Thanks so much for watching, and I really do hope this helps you, and take it easy.